There's a lot of anecdotal advice around on improving your marriage. But if you want something you can really use that will actually make a difference and reignite your marriage, check out the link in the description below.
The question, what is the worst advice you've ever received about your marriage? I believe the worst advice I have ever received about my marriage was from my mother 43 years ago. After a long courting period with my now husband, I guess I was getting older at 27, still living at home with my parents, and not very successful on the rudiments of dating and finding a suitable partner. My dear mom thought I was going to be landed on the shelf, as they used to say in those days, so I guess she wanted to give me a little encouragement and fly the coop, as it were. She said, we were made for each other, meant to be together, and we should stop wasting more time and tie the knot. The other thing that needs to be clarified is that my parents, who never divorced, had a volatile, disastrous marriage, and so I grew up with these dynamics in situ, and I guess that could actually put one off marriage for life. My mother was being helpful and encouraging, I guess, when I was reticent and unsure and fearful of making a wrong move and ending up a failure in marriage as they were. Fast forward 42 years, to a long and happy marriage with the person in question. Still happy. It has not always been blissful, as anyone in a long marriage will know. It is not all sunshine and happiness. But, for the most part, it has absolutely worked. Why I think the comments my mother made was bad advice is, as I have grown with life, had experience of my own marriage, and shared experiences with my friends and family members, and seen how their marriages function, some of which have lasted the test of time like mine, some who have divorced and remarried, and some with other stories, I have come to realize that actually there is no partnerships that are genuinely made for each other. This is just an illusion. My advice would be, it is necessary to get to know your intended partner as well as can be expected before marriage, so you should take as much time as you need in order to accomplish this. It is necessary to realize that marriage is not about being made for each other. It is about learning to adapt and adjust and balance your wishes, desires, needs, objectives, etc. with the other person. It is about growing together, but also about giving each other space in order to pursue one's own beliefs, interests and philosophies. Togetherness is fine, but that does not mean to suggest that any one partner should lose their inner traits and identity. It is about understanding that in every marriage there is like to be times when the ordeals and challenges of life, be they personal, financial or other considerations, are going to blow both of you completely off course and leave you feeling that you are certainly not made for each other. In fact, you will feel you are absolutely not made for anyone. Forget love, whatever that is, as our Prince Charles once said whilst being interviewed with Diana on the occasion of their engagement. Love is not always completely necessary for a successful marriage. I should know, it happened to me. My love for my husband was not all-consuming at the beginning. I still followed my mother's advice, which I thought was the worst advice, but strangely enough it did turn out to be the best advice. Thanks, Mom. When I say forget love, of course I do not mean forget it completely. Of course there must be a modicum of love and respect and endearment with anyone you envisage to try to make a long and successful partnership together. I am talking about that love that is all-consuming. When you cannot envisage life without this person. When the violins are sounding in the background, and the stars are shining, and the doves are flying in the... well, you get the picture. That is the love that usually goes out the window a few years later. The real love starts slowly and grows tenderly and respectfully, and suddenly you find you are on the same page, but you are still able to read between the lines in your respective ways. Last but not least, remember luck. I believe however much you plan and work towards a successful marriage, at the end of the day, it can be nothing but a lottery. You pick your number and take a chance, and hopefully with a little luck you will succeed. Everyone has had rocky patches. The difference between it being a patch and a drop of a cliff is what you do now. Check the link in the description if you want a helping hand.